Okay, we've got the Desmo Service coming up. So when I start the bike, see Desmo Service right there, and I'm almost to 23,423. So it's giving me the warning right now. It's time to get it serviced soon. Good morning, everyone. Not a very sunny day today, but it shouldn't rain. We're on our way to take the bike in for servicing. And in particular, we're going to take it for the big servicing. Desmo Service, as they call it. Here's hoping that Alex at Savage Cycles will have an interesting loaner bike for me. If I can convince him to let me borrow something interesting, that would be great. We're leaving a little earlier today because, well, I gotta get there just as the shop opens. I've already told my boss I'll be a little late. And I don't want to have to take the highway because it's gonna be really crowded and stuff. So we'll actually get to do a bit of a morning ride through some of the back roads, which is nice. And it's a bit chilly. I'm already fogging up here in the helmet. Let's see, according to this, 12 degrees, not too bad. Turn on the heater grips. There you go. Of course, coming up to this first major service, I'm doing a lot of research and checking out forums and stuff like that. And while a surprising number of people are saying that, wow, it's really expensive, man, I can do like most of this stuff by myself, valve checks and all that. I'm like, yeah, I guess you could, but I'm not the sort of person who will necessarily have the time to do that. I'm pretty sure I could probably learn how to do that, but in this case, for a major Desmo service like this, I'm gonna let the dealership take care of it. Yeah, it's really expensive, but the other side of things too is that you know, they're responsible for the maintenance of the bike, and I'm paying them good money to make sure that the bike runs in tip-top condition. And if I were to do some of this work by myself, then I screw up. I've got no one else to blame but myself. And like I say, I can do the simple things like the oil changes and the chain adjustments and stuff, but there's no way right now I'm gonna open up the engine and fiddle around with it. And that brings me to another interesting point where I've heard of some people who will, you know, actually move on to another bike as they know their current bike is coming up for like a major service, because they don't fancy spending the $1,000, $2,000 or whatever it's going to cost. I mean, when you check out the classifieds online, and you are surprised, well, I'm actually not surprised, but there are a lot of bikes with very low mileage, and they're, you know, some of them are many years old, and which really means that they really haven't been ridden very much. In my mind, that's a bit of a shame, but it's almost like saying, okay, I'm gonna buy the bike brand new, I'm gonna do the first service at 1,000 kilometers or 1,000 miles, whatever, and then I'm going to you thrash it hard or ride it really hard, do my road trips. But oh, it's coming up to the big major service where they're gonna have to take the bike apart and stuff. Well, you know what? I'm gonna sell it before that happens and move on to my next new bike. And I think that's one of the reasons why you hear of some people who have many motorcycles. Maybe it's just like a habit or something. I just think it's kind of silly. So we're gonna take some of these back roads here. It'll take us most of the way to the dealership. It'll also wake me up this morning. It's kind of interesting with my YouTube channel, as I've got like over 100 subscribers now, and that's not a lot really, but it seems to create this level of like stress for me to make sure that I have content for my channel, to make sure I post in like sort of a semi-regular basis. And I'm pretty sure every motovlogger goes through that kind of woo a little hump there. Every motovlogger probably goes through that phase where they feel compelled to post on a regular basis to keep their subscribers happy. I guess I'm feeling that right now, so I'm thinking to myself, well, what are all the things that I can do? I don't really vlog much. Like, I guess this is a vlog, but I'm only really vlogging, like, I don't vlog very often. But today is special. I'm gonna go and send my bike for a big service. I'm gonna pick up a loaner bike. So there is actually, some interesting things happening that's worth posting. This is kind of a fun road here if there isn't so much traffic. We'll see if that pickup truck in front of us eventually moves out of the way. Turns off or something. I don't expect anyone to get out of my way on a workday morning. I'm not going very fast anyway. Lots of yummy blind corners like this one here. He's actually going pretty fast. That's cool. You can look at the way his truck is moving. You can kind of see how bumpy the roads are and how undulating they are. Yeah, he's done this road many times before, I can tell. But there's lots of oncoming traffic too, so you gotta be a little cautious because people cut corners. Look at this bit here. And a little hump. Woo! Cut some air there. See? It was it a little garbage truck pulling out of this road here? If you weren't careful, that would have been nasty. Oh, he's moving. Wah. Just keeping it in third. Alright, so this is part 2 done. He's going the way I'm going. Not fun. Make sure no traffic. Nice strip of gravel there in the middle of the road. I've done this road before on my video Epic Morning Ride on the Kawasaki Versys. Even though I've done this road many times, I'm still pretty cautious going around some of these blind corners. Especially with the deer. And sometimes I'm wondering if I should get rear sets that lift the foot pegs higher, because I tend to scrape my boot on the road a lot. Ah, he's pulling off. Darn, I was kind of hoping that he would hang on, because then it allows you guys to see really the how the road moves. It's harder to see it from my point of view. The camera is really wide. No, this is not my morning commute. I wish it was. We're actually going in the opposite way from where I normally go. I head into town, and this is actually heading out of town. And you can see why I wanted to take these roads instead of taking the highway, which would be faster. But my gosh, why do you ride a motorcycle for if not to do roads like these anyway, right? I've had some people give me feedback on the way I do my videos, and there are two ways of doing it. One is to, you shoot all the footage and then you cut it all together, and you got jump cuts and stuff like that. So a trip like this, where I go from my house all the way to the dealership, you wouldn't show the entire, 20-25 minute ride. Because some people would just get bored, right? Alright. So unlike my epic ride video, it was a single clip shot non-stop, which was really the intention I had of doing it. I'm gonna maybe edit this one differently with a bunch of jump cuts and things like that. I mean, to me, the entire ride is pretty nice. Pretty epic. It's a lot of fun, but I get this feeling that most people don't really need to see the entire trip. They like to see like the key parts. It keeps their interest peaked. Like here, right? I'm right behind this guy right now. I could be doing 20-30 kilometers faster. But, I'm doing just about the speed limit. He's obviously in no hurry. And this is the part of the video that I probably wouldn't put into my final edit if not for the fact that I'm talking to you guys. So if I shut up now, then you won't see the rest of this. Let's see, 10 minutes before the dealership opens, and we are still nowhere near. I was kind of hoping to get there just as the dealership opens, because I want to get to work as soon as possible. I do have stuff to get done. I'm actually leaving for Singapore on Sunday. I'll be heading over to the airport. So I have a lot of things to do. I've got to get some chores done and run a bunch of errands and settle my kid and all that stuff. And it includes, finishing, a project at work, which I promised I would. Oh, thanks for using the indicator, buddy. Huge pet peeve of mine, I have to say. People who do not use the indicators. massive pet peeve of mine. And here we are! Savage Cycles. I think these are actually the loaner bikes. It's got the SV650, remember? That I was really uncomfortable on. I don't want that one. We've got the V-Strom 1000. I guess, could be interesting. We've got the Bonneville. We've also got the T100 with the screen. That could be interesting. I mean, I could take the V-Strom. I've not done a review on the V-Strom, but to be perfectly honest, I'm not very interested. You know, a buddy of mine's looking at it, but I'm not really interested. We could do the T100. That might be cool. Or maybe I can convince him to let me take something else out. Let's go and ask.